Men are very weird, very strange, and very unstable and unsafe to be around in public spaces with women, right? Like it's almost like women need separate spaces at this point. But I know that that wouldn't actually be healthy. Um, I do think women need more safe spaces, though. I do think women need more, more spaces for them to maybe more controlled environments where certain things just won't be allowed or tolerated or less likely to happen. I don't know, but um, when you just see what happens to women like over and over and over again in public spaces when they're with men and how they get harassed and even worse, it's scary. Like it's definitely scary. Like, and if you have women that you care about, which all of us should, um, you should just care about women in general. But definitely, if you are, directly connected or have direct relationships with women, then you should be concerned for their safety around men, like 100%. Um, and I just don't want women, even if it's not like a imminent threat, like physical threat. I'm just tired of seeing women being harassed by men because even that's emotionally taxing and damaging. But anyways, these situations are so odd. This is, man, I don't know. I don't know how men can defend this type of behavior, but we need to stop defending this type of behavior. Minding her motherfucking business. Here comes a guy.
What you talking about?
Say it again?
What you talking about?
Nothing. I ain't talking about nothing. I hate it here. You can't just mind your business.
Yeah, you're not her to be acting like that. I'm
Hell
sorry.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, but
Hell
you're not.
yeah.
Take your shades off.
Type shit.
And look at me. You know what I'm talking about?
Like, in my video. It's an apocalypse. Y'all. Y'all. So much tea. So much tea in so little time. People just be doing shit when they come out.
She said it's an apocalypse. Because she was talking about of the sassy men. And yeah, why? Why? You get rejected and that's how you act? You got rejected and that's how you decided to act? What did she do? She was nice. What you over here talking about? Nothing. I ain't talking about shit. Right, right, for sure, for sure. Keep it pushing. As soon as she say that, he shot his shot. I guess that was his way of shooting his shot. You didn't get the reaction you wanted. Let it go. Right, just let it go. Move on. That doesn't mean keep going. See, I don't know what it is about me personally, but like I can handle rejection like well. It's not a big deal to me. But at the same time, I don't like to be rejected. You know what I'm saying? I almost say I don't like to be rejected. Like it also it triggers me in a different way. How reject what happens to me whenever I would get rejected by women is what it would trigger is like it. I don't know if it's like an embarrassment, but it may be an embarrassment. But when I got embarrassed by the rejection, my reaction was to like, okay, move away so I can avoid further embarrassment. You know what I mean? Like, so if I approach a woman and she doesn't respond the way that I want her to respond, my initial reaction isn't to keep pressing her so that I can just keep getting embarrassed, so that I could just keep getting mad, right? Getting increasingly more upset or whatever the case may be. My reaction is to be like, okay, that was embarrassing. Moving on. I don't know. Like, I'm not it's like fight or flight, pretty much, right? For me, I'm in flight mode. I'm not in fight mode. When a woman rejects me, I would instantly go into flight mode. Instantly. Like, why? Like, why subject myself to that? I won't say abuse because she's not abusing me, but to that feeling. Why? Because I'm just setting myself up for failure. And very few times, if ever, I can remember me like spinning a block on a woman and it actually worked. Like I can't really remember a time when it actually worked. It was way there were way more times when I just kept getting rejected if I were to spin the block. right? And I never did it like in public space. It was usually like, you go to school with the girl, like in high school, you go to school with the girl, you're pressing her all the time, whatever. Like I definitely did that stuff as a teenager. And very rarely did it go my way. Usually, when she said no the first time, she would also say no the fifth time, right? So I guess I learned my lesson pretty young with that. But for some reason, like a lot of you men, you guys just cannot take a hint, and you will not let women just reject you quietly and respectfully. It's okay. Rejection is okay. It's a part of life. Makes you stronger, even, I would say. But like you could have took that, learned from that, and been like, okay, don't approach women like that. That's not the way women like to be approached. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna slide, do something else. Not to her, but to another woman, right? Next time. I'm not gonna come at her like that. She didn't really like that, me interrupting her video. You know what I mean? Y'all not learning. Y'all not learning. Y'all not adapting. Y'all stuck. You stuck. You stuck on stupid. And since you feel so entitled, when a woman says no, that's what makes you crash out. That's what makes you say stupid stuff like, you ain't all that. Sir, if she wasn't all that, then why did you try to talk to her? Are you guys like I'm very curious to know if any man can answer this. Are you men talking to women who you think aren't all that because you think they're easy? Like you figure like, oh, if I talk to the women that are all that, there's too much competition. But if I talk to women who I think are like medium ugly, let's say, or they're not all that there's less competition, so there's more of a chance that I'll get what I want from her. Is that what because that's the only logical thing that I can conclude from a man who approaches a woman, but then says that she's not all that. That's the only conclusion that I can come to. It's like you the whole time, it was all a setup, right? Like you went after her, you targeted her for a specific reason. You thought she would be vulnerable or something like that, or she would be more susceptible or receptive to your advances because you feel like she's not as attractive or whatever. Like I'm not, because I don't. What is it? I can't. And that's the thing. Obviously, with that woman, that wouldn't be the case because she's objectively, you know what I'm saying? She's objectively attractive, right? Or she's conventionally attractive, I would say. So that wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like with her, that wouldn't necessarily make sense to me. But is that what you were saying? Because what? And that's why she said it's a sassy man apocalypse. Because you instantly got sassy. You ain't all that. You ain't all that in a bag of chips. Like you did. Like, are you fucking for real, bro? Like, why would you ever? That's crazy. It's just so many things that y'all be doing that be like blowing my mind. I'm like, why? Who told you to do that? And I've seen men do this my whole life. I'm still just shocked by it because I always thought it was weird. I always thought it was weird how a man couldn't just take a no. I always thought that was, I'm talking about from when I was a child. I thought that was strange. Like, yeah, she just said no, move on. Like there's so many other women out there and girls out there, and like you don't like, do you lack confidence or something? Like I don't understand. Like they're like other women will cross your path. You'll be fine, bro. You'll make it. You'll survive. Now this situation is a little spookier. It's a little spookier, because they're in the car with this man. But it says POV, a smooth brain pick you up for an Uber ride and kicked you out of the car for saying you're divorced and single by choice.
Who wants to be free and do whatever you want to do. So of course you're not gonna listen. You need to be protected from yourself. That's why I was just saying I could tell your energy. You need to be protected from yourself because you want to be free and loose like a wild woman, like most women nowadays. They don't have control and discipline over themselves. If you want a weak man that's gonna let you do whatever the hell you want to do. You want a weak man with money. There's plenty of weak men with money out here.
But you ain't got no money. You a weak man that's broke. So what is that why you're mad?
And that definitely ain't what you're getting with me. I'm gonna let you know what it is. You don't like it, you can kick rocks. I don't take shit from women. I don't let women do what they want to do and say what they want to say around me.
I'm not understanding, how did we get here? Are these women flirting with you or something, sir? Like, where where are you getting off thinking that, like, you are in the running to be with them? I'm this is how did we get here? That's all I want to know. I see the setup, I see what she said, but how did we get here though? Like, why is he thinking this? I'm very curious.
That's an unruly woman. It's a woman that's out of control and don't know her place. My baby mama's like that. I don't even like her. I love her, but I definitely don't like her.
Bingo. We got to the bottom of it. I was just about to say he need to go sit on that lady couch. He is projecting. This is a if anybody doesn't understand projection, this is a perfect example of projection. He has gone through something in his past with another person, and he is, for all intents and purposes, taking it out on these women. They have nothing to do with it. Now it makes sense, right? Like, why would you be saying all of this stuff about, like, oh, well, that ain't what you gonna get with me? Like, okay. I don't think they want to get with you, sir. Oh, every time you talk to a woman, you see your baby mama. Now, mind you, the reason why you and your baby mama ain't together is because you felt you treated her like the way you're speaking right now. You were abusive to her. That's why y'all not together, right? It's you know what I mean? Like, it's not because she don't want to listen. It ain't because of none of that. It's because of you and your behavior. I want to make that clear. I'm not blaming that woman at all. And I'm not saying that the reason why he's crashing out is because of her. But he is definitely seeing her face right now while he's talking to these women.
She wasn't raised with a father. She doesn't know how to behave herself because she wasn't raised under the rules of a man. She was raised by a single mother.
I was raised with a father.
It don't matter, bitch.
Sis,
It don't
call
matter,
the police.
bitch.
I'm about to sis,
Get
this
the
Uber
fuck
driver,
out my car, bitch.
this Uber driver
Get the fuck
is
out
cussing
my
me
car,
out.
bitch.
Listen. Tell my sister what you said.
Get the fuck out my car, bitch. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here.
Say it again.
Get the fuck out of here.
Say it again.
Get the fuck out of my car.
Bitch. Say bitch. Call me a bitch.
Get the fuck out of my car.
Call me a bitch again.
Get the fuck out of here. Why you trying to get shit started, dumbass?
My anxiety jumped up really high when he started yelling at her. That was crazy. Wow. Can't say we didn't see that coming. An abusive man showing his true colors in less than an Uber ride home. That's all it took, was an Uber ride home for him to reveal to you what type of man he really is. And he out here talking about this is what women need to do and what women don't do and what women need to do. It's always y'all. One thing I definitely want to highlight before I go further into this is the fact that initially when the video started rolling, he said that women need to, well, first, hold on, let me address this first. The comment he made about, oh, that y'all wasn't raised with a daddy. I did a video on how, like, there are a lot of fathers who set a certain tone for their daughters, and their daughters have like a baseline understanding of what men are capable of and what men should be doing for them, right? Not to say all fathers do that. Of course, not all fathers do that, but I think, like, even if the daddy ain't perfect, there are a fair amount of dads who, like, show up for their daughters, love their daughters, you know, buy their daughters things, treat their daughters with respect, never raise a hand, never yell. There's a good amount of fathers who do that. Don't that's what I'm saying. And a lot of times when men meet those women, they don't know how to treat, like, they don't like those. Like, those are the women they don't like the most, are the women that were raised by present, you know, caring fathers, right? And mothers. I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that have both parents there, right? They don't like those women. Those women are very hard to impress. Those women are very hard to manipulate. You know, a lot of the time, some of the times I've even seen it go this way. Some of the times those women, because they were raised by a cool dad, you know what I'm saying, a good father, a good man, that they think all men are cool or most men are decent because their dad was decent and their dad was decent, their uncle was decent. So the men in their life are decent. So they think like, oh, most men are decent. Sometimes they go out there and get hurt by a man, you know, in the real world, not knowing that like most of these motherfuckers ain't nothing like your daddy. Most of these dudes ain't nothing like your uncle, right? There are like that. But usually that's like a one-time thing. And then they go, okay, I got you. Now I know y'all not built like my daddy. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, they start to assess the situation differently and set guardrails up and boundaries and protect themselves, right? And men cannot stand those women. So when I hear men being like, oh, you wasn't raised by your daddy, what they mean is the women they're talking about are the women that were raised by a patriarchal father that beat them into submission, that got them, like, tenderized them, right? A lot of daddies tenderize their daughters, make them nice and soft and mushy for the world, for the next man to come scoop in and consume them like a piece of meat, like a tenderized piece of meat. They come in and they teach the daughters to keep their head down and you know, and always respect the man, and the man's word is bond and da 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 da. Yeah, and that's the men that they want. They want those patriarchal fathers in these women's life. They're not talking about the daddies that be telling they daughters that all these men want to do is get between your legs and teaching these daughters to have self-respect and teaching these daughters that the least a man can do is buy you some shit and take you out to a restaurant. That's the least a man can do. That's not, if a man not doing that, what are you know what I'm saying? Like, don't even entertain him. That don't mean using them for his money, but at the very least, a man needs to show you that he has intentions for you by pulling up, picking you up, taking you on a date, being respectful. You know what I'm saying? Buying you some things, you know, buying you shit on your birthday, on Valentine's Day, on Christmas, not arguing with you, not yelling at you, just bare minimum shit. Those daddies are hated. We need more of those fathers. Those fathers are despised. And sadly, they don't make up the majority of dads. If there are three types of dads, let's say, there are those dads that I'm describing. They're the patriarchal fathers who tenderize the women, and then there's the absentee, neglectful dads. It's really three. But the biggest two groups of dads are the neglectful dads and the patriarchal fathers. By far, there's very few, you know, fathers that really be out here teaching their daughters. And shout out to my father-in-law, rest in peace. He taught my wife very well. Like, the lessons that he taught her are like, she tells me stuff that he said to her, and then I pass a lot of that stuff on to my sons, and she passes it on to my sons too. But because he was like a father figure to me, because I didn't have a dad. You know what I'm saying? The consistent father figure in my life. And he ended up being a father figure to me. So I, you know, got to see the way that he saw the world or whatever. A lot of the times and through what she said about him. So shout out to those daddies. I know that like, I'm married to a woman that was raised by the intentional father. You see what I'm saying? I know what those women expect. But a lot of y'all be preying on these women, and you want them to be raised by these patriarchal daddies. And the second thing, and the last thing I'm gonna say about this before we move on is when he initially said that women need men to protect them from themselves, that shit threw me for a loop, because statistically, women keep the reason why, if you look up why married men live longer than non-married men, there are two major components. One of them is that married women make sure that or at least try to make sure that their husbands go get doctors, you know, show up to their doctor's appointments, eat better, exercise a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And also, they just lower their levels of stress and all that stuff too, right? Just naturally from the woman being there. Cool. That's a part of it. That's number one. Number two, when men have that woman protects that man from himself. Even the doctors in eating better, that's protecting the man from himself too. So this is all about the woman protecting the man from himself. But the also, that woman protects the man by, he drives safer. He pays attention more when he's driving. He buckles his seatbelt all the time. He doesn't ride a motorcycle. He used to ride motorcycles, but now he has a family. Now he has a wife, and his wife is like, absolutely not. You're not riding a motorcycle. You have a kid now, right? Stuff like that. Women are the ones who are constantly protecting men from themselves. Constantly. That is women. Like it's almost, if you believe, I don't believe in God, but it's almost, if you believed in God, you would believe that that is a woman's role almost at this point, to protect men from themselves. Like, I'm not even playing. It's crazy how much women protect us from ourselves. So to hear a man get up here and say that women need us to protect themselves, to protect them from themselves, wicked work. There's not a stitch of evidence that you can find to support that. There's no scientific data out there that exists that supports the idea that men protect women in any way, shape, or form. And just on the back end, this is what happened. This is the follow-up video.
Hey y'all, I am fighting a cold, so excuse the way that I look and sound. Anyway, I just wanted to give a quick update to y'all. Yeah, this man is still running amok. Why? Because Uber locked my sister's account. She has no way of accessing it in order to report him. Very concerning. My guess is that he knew exactly what to do. He probably reported her first, which triggered Uber to lock her account, which is absolutely insane. Insane that she has no ability to report this man, to get this man off of that app and stop picking women up. I'm pretty sure this is the only way he interacts with women. Secondly, I posted this on my Instagram, and so this man has a daughter. I just so happened to be friends with one of his daughter's teachers, and she reached out to me. I'll put the screenshot of what she said on here. I'm going to remove her name, but this is what she said. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this checks out. So that prompted me to further investigate, went to his website, and website link wasn't working. However, I do know somebody that works in the tech field, and he was able to go backwards and go to what the content was. I'm going to post all of that content right here so y'all can see. Just pause to read. The man is absolutely insane and needs to, he definitely should have been born in prison. Should have been born in prison. And lastly, this man owns a business, and do what y'all want with that information. I'm going to put the link here. It doesn't have Google reviews, but I did go on Yelp and I did put one review. So do what you want with that information. One thing about it is I don't play about my sister. I don't even play like this. I don't even play like this. You will be held accountable, sir. Thank you.
Women protecting women again. His name is Mr. Marvelous Mind, Lloyd Holt III, on Instagram. If anybody wants to go look him up, he looks like he is addicted to steroids and working out in the gym, and that's good for him, I guess. He doesn't have a woman to protect him from taking too much testosterone and being hysterical in the world. But that's him. I'm gonna read those messages. I definitely want to see those messages. And to anybody that's out here like, oh, the red pill is not in real life. I only hear this stuff online. This is a manifestation of the red pill in real life. Just one example of it. He is a red piller openly, right? This is one of the things that he posted. The fall of Western civilization, surviving the pandemic of toxic, entitled, overweight, delusion. They always talk about a woman's weight. It's so weird. Overweight, delusional, hypergamous. Spelled hypergamous with a $sign, and promiscuous modern day Western women. Men are like wine, women are like milk. I'm not gonna say it, but the Red Pill Bible says it right there. This is his website. His website is Men Are Like Wine. That's homoerotic. As a man, you think men are like wine and women are like milk? That's gay. I'm not even saying it like in the like funny way. I'm saying like for real. Like that's come on, bro. That's crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like if a homosexual man said that, I'll be like, yeah, of course they think that. Right? Like to them, they're not attracted to women. You know what I'm saying? Like that would add up. But like if you claim to be a cishet, a heterosexual man, and you're saying that men are like wine and women are like milk, what do you want from me? I can't read this one, man. I can't read these messages. They're too blurry. Let me see if I can read them. Oh, it says, yeah, the most contentious topic we will scrutinize is beware of single mothers and the rise of single parent households. This is so crazy to me that if this isn't proof that men are delusional and that men just have way too much time on our hands. Men really need to clock in more. If you work 40 hours a week, you need to be working 60 hours a week as a man. If this is what you're doing in your spare time, is running a website that is spreading this propaganda, you need to be working 60 plus hours a week, like mandatory. Like, don't lock them up. They're weird, but don't lock them up. Make them productive citizens and make them work. Like, force them to work 20 extra hours. Why do you have this much time to make this bullshit? This is crazy. Lastly, we probe the thoughts of oh my God. Lastly, we probe the thoughts of post-wall 30 to 35, 40 plus year old frozen egg women. The women who give up their youthful days to chase after careers, who foolishly think they can start a family later in life with frozen eggs. Now, I have a friend that is my age. I'm 43. She just had a child this year. She got married recently, just had a child this year. It is definitely possible, first and foremost. Secondly, I just saw something very interesting. Very interesting. I came across a video and I was like, oh, this is crazy. They're not gonna listen to this though.
They finally decided to start studying women's bodies, and guess what they found out? That whole scary female biological clock thing, turns out it's not us, it's the men. Yes, we are born with all of our eggs, and yes, they decline over time, but new research has now shown that our eggs are actually protected from certain aging damage. Meanwhile, sperm gets worse and worse every single year. Slower swimmers, more DNA damage, and less volume. By 40, miscarriage risks go up, and by 45, IVF success rates drop, even if the woman's eggs are young. So instead of telling women to hurry up before they dry up when we are 25, why is nobody telling the men to freeze their sperm?
I remember making a video a while ago on what's that dude's name? The comedian Donnell Rollins, and how he was talking about how he just had a baby. He's like 48. And I remember saying in the video something to the effect of, he was like, I don't want to, he was saying like he doesn't want to date or marry, he didn't want to marry or date a woman his age because they can't have babies. And I said, bro, if they're too old for babies, you're too old for babies. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're a man and you're like, oh, all the women my age are all dried up and they can't have kids, then you need to be thinking the same way about your sperm. Like, I knew that shit way before there was even any documentation. I already knew that. Like, the way that men think that because there are old ass men who have kids, that means that like men in general are like, yeah, we can have kids until we're 70. It's crazy. My granny had my mama when she was in her 40s. My mama is the baby. My granny was in her fucking 40s when she had my mom. Like, she was an old lady, but you know what I'm saying? For like baby standards, like she was an old lady. She shouldn't have had no baby. I'm saying physically, let the men tell her she shouldn't have been able to have no baby at like 45 years old, but she did. Y'all, man, everything you believe, man, I'm here to tell you, everything you believe is a fucking lie. It's just a matter of time before science disproves every single red pill talking point. It happens every single fucking day.